Good morning, sir. So this is my third practical work for the semester. First, we access it here. I used a library management system, the first case in the practical work statement. Here we can see the authors and the number of books written by them. Here are the tables from the database connected to my server. And here we have authors table with the pre-inserted examples and the overdue loans. We can see them in the database as well. We have the pre-inserted ones and another one I inserted manually using the forms. And here we have the number of books bought by each member. Here we can see the member table with 4 members. We can select a member ID, for example 1, and we display the borrowed books by this member. We can see it here. Here's the table. We have the title, dates loaned, and the date returned. We can see he borrowed 3 books, and one of them is not returned yet. Here we can insert or update an author. To insert, first we'll try to insert one. So we have to enter a new ID author, not one that is previously done. We enter the first name, last name, nationality, and the date of birth. And then we submit. We can go and check this author in the database if it's actually updated. And here, after refreshing, we can see that we have an actual author with ID member 8 named Lily Bloom. This time we'll try to update a new book instead of inserting a new one. We'll check the database. We have 4 books actually. So now we're gonna update the third one with ID book 3. We give it a new title, new genre, and a new date of publication and number of pages. And we'll see if it gets updated in the database on pw3 We update, and then we go and refresh. In the book table, we see exactly the third book with the new genre and the new title and everything. So it got updated successfully. And this is the new book that we added. And I'm gonna try to delete it to test the delete book option and see if it works. We go back and see the book, and here we go. We only have 4 books. There is no 5th one. Here we're gonna see the code. This is pw3 PHP file. First we have the connection to the database in the top with the host name, the username and password. First we created the tables that were in the practical work statement for authors, members, books, and loans. And here we inserted the authors, books, and and the loans and members, just like the examples, and using SQL language. And we used PDO to execute the insert authors, books, and everything. And here we have the queries. To fill in the tables. And this is for the insert and update objects. So we used the post method and the submit buttons to trigger the insert action. And with the information that is needed for each object is different, so that's why we used 4 of them. And these are other functions to make sure we can delete the objects. For each button, delete author, books, and members and loans. And now this is the HTML code where we have the fetch to fetch the PDO and make the things in the PHP work. For example, here we have the overdue books. And we can fetch them and see them in the website. And those are the rest of lists and displays of what was needed. And the forms to insert and delete and update all of the objects. And here we can see the database PHP, the one we used to make the connection. This is the authors PHP. I used it to make sure the table author book works well. I used queries and then fetch PDO to make them work, to say the number of books written by an author. This is the overdue PHP, and it's here to make sure that any book not returned yet gets displayed in the table. So it counts the loan ID of the book, and then it says what the total books borrowed. That's all. Thank you so much for listening.